friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. In today's video, I am going to be putting together my Colorcast Designs project using the March themed acrylic and wood veneer kit. Now I'm actually only going to be using one acrylic piece. It's this title piece that says around here that's in this very teal, almost like sea glass sort of color. In addition to that, I have also pulled out two chipboard pieces, one that says AM and one that says PM, from an older Ali Edwards Week in the Life chipboard collection. I actually believe this one was from the Kylie in Kentucky mini kit from last year, but I really liked these as a way to document what is happening around here, around our home. So I have those pulled out. I also had previously cut a piece of pattern paper. It's this really awesome rainbow paper from Vicki Boutin, and I will make sure to link this in the description of this video in case you're looking for this one, because I don't remember what it's called, but it's beautiful and I've had it in my stash, so I'm really excited to be able to use it. And then I also have printed out my journaling. My plan is to add a timestamp to each of these sections. So I left a little bit of space to add that on the page, and then I'm going to add on the AM and the PM, which I have a really light gray circle already there, so I know exactly where to position those. And then the title here at the top, I'm also going to do a little bit of stitching in order to give this some separation and a little bit more texture on the page to add this and secure it all on here. And that's going to be the left side. Now this template I will put down in the downloads at the bottom of this post, so if you want to recreate a page just like this, you'll be able to. Keep in mind that the circles that I have here are 1 inch exactly. So whatever you put on those circles, you'll just want to make sure that they are 1 inch in diameter. Now, in addition to this, I've also got a photo template that I created. So this is just a layer template where I added in my photos, and I have 8 of them here on the side. My plan is to use some of my label stickers that I have here. These are all the Color Theory label stickers from Studio Calico. I have 8 different shades. Unfortunately, I don't have a yellow, so it's not quite rainbow, but it's as close as we can get. So I'm going to add one to each of these photos with a timestamp in the sticker as well. So that way we can see that the journaling will reflect on the photo. So we can kind of compare those as we're looking at this spread. This template I will also have in the downloads. So if you are familiar with layer templates, then that will give you the ability to recreate a page just like this if you wish. If you have Photoshop and you are unfamiliar with layer templates, then I will also put a link to a tutorial series I created about layer templates that will hopefully walk you through the process of how to add your own pictures into the template and print that off from your home. Okay, so now that I have explained away everything that we're going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward while I get this assembled, and I'll just do a voiceover over the top and explain what I'm doing along with some of the pictures that I took and all of that fun stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to get started on this spread by setting everything to the side except for my journaling page and going ahead and adding my time stamping onto this page. So when I created this template in Photoshop, I made sure to leave enough room above each of those journaling blocks to add my timestamp. My time roller stamp here, the one that you see, is from Ali Edwards. I got it fairly recently because I knew I wanted to add more of this type of stamping onto my projects. I always see her do it or other people in the community, and I love the idea of adding time onto my projects like this. So I'm just doing my best to eyeball it and keep it relatively even in a line there. The first one you can see is a little bit ajar, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me that much. So I've got from AM, mostly because we're not awake for most of the AM hours here in our house. We get up roughly between 7 and 8 and sometimes 9 o'clock in the morning. So I time stamped it for 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. So that way I could have 4 different time blocks with 4 different bits of journaling. Then for the PM, I wanted to get a wider range of what we were doing in the afternoon and evening times. So I used 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock as the hours for which I journaled. Then once I have all of that on here, I positioned the title piece there at the top just because I wanted to make sure to give myself plenty of room to add that up there. And I'm just going to use a pencil to draw a light line all the way across the top and then down in between the two different times of day there. So between the AM blocks of text and the PM blocks of text. One of the things I wanted to do with the spread was to create a little bit more of a distinctive line between them. So like a line that separates the title from the rest of the page, and then a line that separates the two times of the day using my sewing machine. So I'm just going to create those lighter pencil lines, and then I'm going to pull over my sewing machine and stitch along those lines to create the dimension and also the distinction between those different places. So here is my machine. The one that I use is just a super basic machine. It's from Janome is the brand, and it's super small. You can see that it fits on my 12 by 12 mat because it is tiny. Well, actually my mat's 13 by 13, but still it's super small, which I love because I can keep it on my cube shelving literally right next to me. So I just pulled it over here, plugged it in, and we're going to stitch those lines. I will set it to the side and eventually put it away, but actually I have to bring it back out again here in just a little bit because I also wanted to stitch around the entire perimeter of my journaling to attach it onto the rainbow paper. So you'll see I'm going to add a little bit of score tape to the back because I want this to stay in the right position as I'm stitching it down later. And score tape does really well with sticking strongly to whatever you put it on. Before I actually adhere the journaling section down onto the rainbow paper, though, I did want to go ahead and hole punch it just so I could make sure I've got that journaling page positioned just right. And then you can see I set that to the side and accidentally stuck it right on top of the adhesive backed page there. So that was great, but it turned out just fine. I just went ahead and took it off and reattached it, re-adhered it down, and it worked out totally fine. Once I had that done, I grabbed my sewing machine back over, stitched around the perimeter, which you can see there. And now I've got that side is like well and adhered, and I really like the way that it looks. I like having a little bit of stitching like this on my pages. I just feel like it gives it a little bit more texture and dimension. And I think it looks nice. So next I went ahead and added on these chipboard circles. Having the lightly colored circle printed on the page to show me exactly where to place those makes that so easy, because then I don't even have to like do a bunch of measuring and making sure it's centered or anything like that. It's just already there, and all I have to do is stick my thing right on top of it. Then I'm going to go ahead and do my title piece here. In the last one of these I did, I had a couple of you that were like, why didn't you take the backing off of your acrylic piece? To be honest, I didn't even know that you could or that you were supposed to take the backing off. So I thought I would give that a try this time. And you guys are totally right. It does make it a bit brighter than it was with the backing on it. So I can definitely see myself doing that again. So thank you for that suggestion, because I don't think I would have ever done that otherwise. So I took the backing off, added on some roller adhesive. I just used my finger to blot off some of the excess so that it doesn't have like glue everywhere, and then stuck it there at the top and called that journaling section done. Now for my photo here, so this is the photo template that I created in Photoshop that you can also use to create your own. You just clip your photos into those rectangle sections and then print it off just like that. So what I wanted to do to help distinguish or show the different photos, help your eye see that there are actually 8 different photos on this page, is I wanted to take these labels and re-stamp out those timestamps. So now you can see there's the timestamp for 9 p.m. with the journaling that goes with it, and that pertains to the photo that has the label with the same time on it, 9 p.m. And I'm just going to add one of those to the bottom left corner of all of the photos, and I did it in rainbow order. I started with the gray and ended with the black just because I didn't want two of the blackish colors next to each other. I think that helped to break it up. And I love the way that this turns out. I am going to clear off my desk here and just pull these up to show you a little bit of a closer look at both of them, and then we'll go ahead and slow back down. All right, friends, that completes my spread for today. I love the way that this one turned out. I think that this was a super fun way to document the things that are happening just around us, around our life, and it could be another fun way to do something very similar to a day in the life type of documenting. So just going hour by hour and pulling out some photos that are representative of what you would be doing or what you are doing at those times of the day, and then talking about them, just in some very brief journaling about what the photo is all about, if that makes any sense. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed seeing this spread come together, and don't forget to check the bottom of the post for the template for both the journaling and the photo layer template. Those will be down there at the bottom, waiting for you to use them with whatever project suits your fancy. All right, I will be back again next week working with my Allie Edwards Bloom story kit. That is the story kit that I am going to work on project planning, and I'll do a process video for here, early access, and then I'm crushing it this month in order to post those videos and photos next month for Story Kit Crush. So that is the way that I am working it this month. Also, make sure, if you're not following me over on Instagram or on YouTube, to check out the Story Kit Crush projects that I'll be posting throughout the rest of the month. You guys had early access to see what stories I was going to be telling with the Connect Story Kit. So now you'll be able to see the entire range of stories that I was able to get completed with that kit. So I'm really looking forward to posting the rest of my stories there. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys again in the next video. Bye, you guys.